solve x square equal 4. Okay? This can be written in another way like this. X square minus 4 equals 0. It's the same, right? These two are the same, isn't it? Yes or no? Same thing, right? Just if you move this minus 4 to the other side, it will become 4 here. Okay, so the question come like this, come like this. Maybe it's tempting when you see the question look like this form, is to factor it, right? So if you factor this one, suppose now I'm just solving it two different ways. If I factor this, it would be x minus what? 2. X minus 2, right? And then the other factor will be x plus 2. That's equal to 0, right? And that means it's either this factor equal to 0 or this factor equal to 0. So x minus 2 equals 0 or x plus 2 equal 0. And here that means x equal 2, and here that means x equal minus 2. Okay, so I have these two solutions, 2 or minus 2. Okay, so I solved this by factoring. Okay, but if the question looks like this, then maybe you are tempted to do something else, which is to take the square root of both sides. Okay, and in this case, x will be two possibilities. So yeah, just think about it simply, without need to take the square root of anything. Just ask yourself if you, what are the two numbers when you multiply them? The number when you multiply it by itself, or when you square it, you get 4. What could be the number when you square it, you get 4? 2 only? 2 only? Yeah, minus 2 also when you square it. When you square it, you also get 4, right? Because minus 2 times itself, give you also 4. Yeah. Now, minus times minus give you plus. Minus times minus, because you multiply by itself, it give you plus 4, right? And plus times plus, and you also multiply by itself, will also give you 4. Okay? So quickly, you don't need all these steps. Whenever x squared equal to a number, that means x is equal to the plus or the minus of the square root of this number. Yani, there is a step here that was in the middle. I didn't write it. X is plus or minus the square root of the 4. Okay, and we know the square root of 4 is 2, which is plus or minus 2. Okay, square root of 4, the radical of 4 is 2 only. But the plus or minus comes from the equation. A lot of people confuse this. A lot of people think the radical of 4 is equal to plus or minus 2. That is wrong. That's not true. That's wrong. Why? Because the radical of 4 is only the 2, only the positive. See, the radical of 4 is only the 2. So where the plus or minus come from? It doesn't come from the radical. It comes from the equation. The plus and the minus come from the equation. Because when you square something, you get 4. It means the value before squared could be positive or negative. Okay, it doesn't come from the radical sign. Anyway, maybe to understand this better, we see another example. Let us solve another one. Okay, let's solve another one. If I have x squared equal to 16, okay, right away you understand that x equal to plus and minus the square root of the 16. And what is the square root of 16? 4. That's it. Now what if x squared equal to 5? X will be what? Another question. This is another question.
5, so minus 5 or plus 2.
We do the same thing. What we did here? We said the plus and the minus is the square root of the number, right? Same thing. We'll do the same thing. Plus and minus the square root of the number. Okay, plus and minus the square root of the number. What is the number? 5. Radical 5 is 5. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay? That's it. That's the answer. Stop here. Type. What if I have x squared equal to 8? Then x equal what? The first step is to do what? We say what? Plus and minus the square root of 8. And then you can simplify 8. What is the simplification of 8?
2.
Yeah, 2, 2, 2. And then after you factor 8 into, 2 times 2 times 2, Huh? In this case, 2 of them will come out of the radical, right? So it will be 2 radical 2. Yeah, 1 remain, and the 2 will come out, become just 1, 2. Do you understand this? Okay. So this is how do we simplify the radical as we talked before. What if I have negative value? Let's have a negative value. So what if I have here x squared plus 8 equal to 0? Oh yes, exactly. So x squared equal to minus 8, and then what? X squared is plus or minus, yes, the square root of minus 8. But what about the square root of minus 8? What is it? There is an I, exactly. The minus will come outside as I. Plus and minus I radical 8. Very good. So the minus come out as I. And then you simplify the 8 as we did before, which is, yes, 2 radical 2I. So that's the final at the end, the final answer at the end. Okay? You did a lot of things here. First of all, you move this to the other side. Okay? Because you just have x squared and number. You only have a and c. You don't have the b. You don't have the x. The coefficient of x is 0. So you just move this to the other side, and then you apply the square root method. This is the square root method of solving this equation. And you found that you have a minus inside. That's why your I come out. This minus come out as I, as we did before in complex numbers. And then you simplify the radicals. So we use complex numbers and we use radicals here. That's why it's important to learn complex numbers and the radicals. We used both. We used how to simplify a radical, and we used the basic idea of complex numbers. Suppose I give you solve this equation.
Put the 16, sir.
Sorry. Wait.